Well, what's going on, everybody? Glad to have you in with us today on a thirsty Thursday, and I'm getting thirsty. I don't know about you guys. If you're going out tonight, by the way, maybe stop by Upper Crust Pizza. I think it's at 5 o'clock, right, James, that they're going to be over there? Yeah, they're going to be over there at the Upper Crust on Shelby Drive doing FOP night tonight. Fraternal Order of the Police raising a little bit of money, not just to help out their organization, but also to help out Investigator Landreth, who was injured, had a massive heart attack during a foot chase of a pursuit of a felony wanted suspect, and they're raising money to help him with his medical bills. More details on that later in the show, so stick around for that. But first up, let's make a winner, shall we? We're giving away a toboggan today. That's what they call them if you're, I don't know, 60. And this is what it looks like right here. It's from Creative Concepts. This thing is super cool. And the winner of today's is our buddy who shared this. His name is Mike Cobb. Congratulations, Mike. Don't know if you're related to Ty, but we do know that you're going to have a cool beanie on your head pretty soon. We'll be getting in touch with you so that you can come by and get that at Ace One Technologies. We've got news on the way next. Hold on. It's 4 o'clock in Jonesboro, and higher education. He was employed at Arkansas State University in December. Less than a month later, he's arrested in Jonesboro, alleged to have had meth, LSD, and more with intent to deliver. The story is coming up. A case of vehicle break-ins. It may have a break in it. Jonesboro Police Department making an arrest, several this morning, and we may know who at least one of the suspects is before anyone else. Plus the business of sex. How in the world is the Adam and Eve sex shop connected to the Office Sports Grill? We'll tell you coming up, plus a lot more on NEA Report. It's coming at you now. Hang on.
Reporting.
We begin tonight with the story of an Arkansas State University professor who left in December and less than 1 month later was under arrest in Jonesboro, accused of possessing LSD, meth, Xanax pills, and more with the intent to deliver. This story is one we broke on NEA Report yesterday, although the story was first broke at the Jonesboro Sun earlier in this week. A former Arkansas State University professor by the name of Dr. Brian K. Laird, 39, of Jonesboro, was arrested on Saturday night. And as we mentioned, those drugs that are listed there, plus some type of yellow powder that officers at the scene weren't really sure what it was, they were found after quite an unusual story. We're going to run through it right now to let you know what happened. It was at 12:20 a.m. Saturday morning in Jonesboro when officers with JPD stopped a white passenger car at the intersection of Creeth and Bridge Streets for having a headlight out. That's when officers made contact with Laird, who was the driver. The passenger, and this is a point to remember, is Cody Thornton, 32. Thornton was on felony parole, had a felony warrant out for his arrest from Jonesboro Police Department. And so we'll get to that back in a minute. He was on valid parole, I should say, and had a felony arrest warrant. But we're going back to that in a second. First up, officers said they noticed Laird was extremely nervous. They said he searched through his center console, presumably for his insurance or information, and when he did, they noticed a glass pipe used to ingest controlled substances, according to the probable cause affidavit. A search through dispatch then led police to find out Thornton was on parole, and he had that warrant for his arrest, too. He was detained, and given the fact that he was on a valid parole, the report says that the search of the area under his immediate control was authorized and conducted. But that's when police went to that center console and found that the glass pipe that they had noticed earlier was gone. The probable cause affidavit goes on to say this precisely, quote, "The glove compartment was locked, and realizing that the pipe was now missing and the glove compartment was locked, officers asked Laird for the key to the locked compartment. Laird refused and was placed into custody for obstruction of governmental operations." The quote goes on to say, well, the probable cause affidavit goes on to say, end quote, "The glove compartment was opened and inside officers found the glass pipe previously located in the center console. It was a crystal methamphetamine pipe. A glass marijuana pipe was found, along with some burnt residue in it. But officers found a plastic bag containing much more important stuff than pot. They found, aside from 8.1 grams of pot, they found 23 hydrocodones. They found several Xanax pills and a foil wrapper containing 3 suspected LSD stamps. It also said that a clear bag containing 3.8 grams of suspected crystal methamphetamine was found. In addition to that, Laird was found to have $1,551 in cash on his person. He was also found to have a counterfeit $100 bill, the affidavit says. Laird and Thornton were both transported to Craighead County Detention Center, with Laird being charged with these charges: possession of meth with intent to deliver greater than 2 grams, a Class B felony; possession of a Schedule 1 or 2 substance, intent to deliver, a Class C felony; same possession, but with a Schedule 4 or 5 substance, intent to deliver again; also possession of drug paraphernalia, both those Class D felonies; forgery first degree for the counterfeit $100 bill, a Class B felony; and then there's a misdemeanor for possession of the marijuana pipe, along with a traffic violation and improper headlights. He's scheduled to be in court at 8:30 a.m. on February 26th in the Craighead County Courthouse. When we reached out for more information about Mr. Laird from Arkansas State University, they issued us this statement. Quote, Brian Laird is no longer a member of the Arkansas State faculty. He resigned in 2017. He has not taught classes for the College of Business this academic year. That statement came from the university's Vice Chancellor for Marketing and Communication. Mr. Laird's received his Ph.D. from the University of Memphis. He received his Bachelor and Master from Arkansas State University, and his profile at the now-defunct page at Arkansas State University listed his research interest as, quote, ethical judgment and behavior and, quote, decision-making. Now to follow up with you on a story we first told you about a couple of days ago on NEA Report. We first brought to you on the show yesterday the Office Sports Grill, the controversy surrounding that, right? Well, just want to give you a couple more updates on that story real quick, because first of all, we did receive another video that was sent along to us, and the video confirms that the stripper was stripping on the pole, and not just for a second. There was no top ripped off of the woman. It was quite obviously something taking place at least in the club to a degree that somebody should have noticed, if not fully under their supervision. We have the video. It's not something we can show here. It's not something I want to show anywhere on a website that I have a standard for class and dignity on. But if we end up having to, because someone decides to deny that and make another untrue statement, then we will. But with that being said, I want to talk to you about something else, right? Did you see the Jonesboro Sun today? Front page story, top story, owner Adam and Eve won't sell porn. I'm getting to why that I'm talking about these two things together. Because if you go through the story, and if you all read it, which you should do, toward the end of the story, it actually, the Sun mentions that NEA Report broke the story about the Office Sports Grill apparently having a stripper on Saturday night. But what the story doesn't mention is that there's actually a connection between this place that's opening, Adam and Eve, which I'll get to in a minute, explaining more if you don't know about it, and the Office Sports Grill. On Caraway Road, the idea is Adam and Eve is a adult store, if you don't know that. Great name for it, by the way, right? And so the store sells adult videos, sex toys, lingerie, dress-up stuff, bondage. I mean, this is all on their website. What they say, what they show, it's clear. It's a sex business. The city of Jonesboro has an ordinance that says you can't have sex business within 2,000 feet of a school, a library, or a church. A church. What do we have in Jonesboro? A lot of different street corners, a lot of different addresses. We have a lot of churches. We have a lot of schools, too, and libraries and other things, too, but we have a lot of churches in Jonesboro. You're hard-pressed to get anywhere in the city limits and not be 2,000 feet from one. At 1518 South Caraway Road, which is where Adam and Eve plans to open, by the way, that's the old Payless Shoe Source outlet, right next to Suddenlink and across from McDonald's, just so you know, you would not be 2,000 feet away from a church. You would actually be about 100 feet away from one, because on the other street, on this same exact block, one street over on Stone Street, is the Refuge Church. And we'll get to that in a minute. Guess who owns 1518 South Caraway Road? It's the owner of the Office Sports Grill, Keith Hendricks. Let's go through the story and tell you everything we know. City Attorney Carol Duncan says her position is that the sex store can't go in to this location. And the Adam and Eve sex store, of course, is aiming to open at that location. In fact, they have the address on a Facebook page, and they gave an interview to the Jonesboro Sun. It seemed pretty adversarial, by the way, the interview, as far as with the manager. He said that there would be no books sold. In fact, his quote was, "We don't carry books, people. That's right up there with DVDs. You can't give them away because it's all free on the internet." Unquote. And again, that was to the Sun. But the store sells more than books, and that really doesn't preclude the other stuff. The law is very clear. It's about sex stores, right? So, as I mentioned, the store describes itself as quote, on the store's website for Jonesboro's best adult novelty store, offering a variety of adult products, lingerie, bondage, and more for women, couples, and men at great prices. The city attorney says that even though Thornton told the Sun it won't sell books or videos, it doesn't matter because it's a matter of being a sex store in Jonesboro and the city having an ordinance prohibiting that from being within 2,000 feet of a church or a school. But here's what's important to mention too. There's an Arkansas state law that says it can't be within 1,000 feet of the church. And I mean, it's quite clearly there. The Refuge Church was interviewed in the Jonesboro Sun, and it's in today's paper, voicing their concerns about it because it's a stone's throw away. It's literally a stone's throw away from the Refuge Church, and there's another church just down the road from that. It's interesting to see where this goes, and maybe nothing more than an interesting coincidence that the gentleman we did the story on yesterday was connected to this. And the Jonesboro Sun just so happened to report them together in a happy accident. Well, today Jonesboro police caught a break in a case of vehicle break-ins. I'll tell you about that right now. 4 arrests were made this morning, and the stolen items were in the numbers around 70. We'll show you a picture of that in just a second, but it was in the Hill Drive area that the location of the suspects was determined at about 1:50 a.m. when patrol officers responded to a suspicious vehicle in that area in Jonesboro. Officers were told that the occupants of the vehicle, at least one occupant was seen exiting the vehicle and checking the door of a nearby truck, apparently to see if it was locked. Wouldn't it be cool if we could equip vehicles with flamethrowers on the side? Just a random thought right now. Anyway, upon their arrival, they were able to locate the described vehicle and stop it near the area it was reported. That's when officers started finding the kind of stuff that you don't really find in a vehicle in the middle of the night. Now, this is a look at it while it's packaged up in evidence, but take a look. You see several different rifle boxes. You also see several handgun boxes. I mean, a number of them, right? Also some subwoofer action over there and a bunch of bags full of things there. It says the property, including a previously reported stolen handgun, belonged to victims of vehicle break-ins that was recovered from the stopped vehicle. The 4 occupants were taken to jail under arrest and left in custody. Their names were not released just yet, right? So we did find one person had been booked into jail early this morning for breaking and entering. And so we'll just go ahead and report that now, too. Was it connected to this? We don't know, but she was arrested at a convenient time, that's for sure. Jada Alexis Anderson, 18 of Truman, booked at 2:40 a.m. on vehicle breaking and entering at the Craighead County Jail. It's not a good hobby. It's unknown, though, if she was connected to the case or if it was just a coincidence that she was arrested for similar charges right around the same time. We are expecting to get more details from Jonesboro Police Department about this, including those names. But I just want to pull up that photo one more time because this was sent along to us by Jonesboro Police Department as the evidence that they were able to locate in this. Again, property includes a previously reported stolen handgun, but quite a bit of other stuff in there, too. Looks like Jonesboro just got a little safer. Let's take a look at that forecast right now from New Wave Wireless, and today was a little bit unusual. You don't see this many Januaries, mid-January especially in Jonesboro. So I was headed down I-555 today on the way to the Red Wolf Stadium exit, which is where our offices are located at. There was a convertible driving, a red convertible, top down, and I saw 2 people in the vehicle, and I'm thinking they are I can't believe it. It's freezing, right? But it's really not that cold outside today. I mean, temperatures in the mid-50s today. That's not too bad. Oh, and by the way, it was just one person. The other occupant in the passenger seat was a Labradoodle, but it looked just like a person from behind. Here's your New Wave Wireless forecast. Home of the $49 iPhone screen repair. So cheap, I had to check it twice. It's 36 degrees for your overnight low tonight, and it looks like it's going to be a clear evening. But tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 54, and then tomorrow night showers begin to move in, mainly though after midnight as we're rolling into Saturday. Cloudy skies with a low around 47, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds out of the south, and between a tenth and quarter of an inch of rain possible on Friday night. For your Saturday, showers are likely mainly before noon with mostly cloudy skies, a high near 55. Chance for rain about 70%, and between a quarter and half an inch of rain is possible on your Saturday. Showers begin to taper off Saturday night, 20% chance for showers before midnight with partly cloudy skies and the low chilly down to 35. It actually dropped a little bit since we put the graphic in there. It was 36 on the graphic. It just dropped down to 35. Weather Service is saying 53 for your Sunday, and a sunny day then too. Mostly clear Sunday night with a low around 31 degrees. And on your Monday, it's going to be a little bit colder, okay? 44 for the high with sunny skies. But that's not going to be indicative of a big cold front moving in, because by the time Wednesday rolls around, it's going to be back up into the mid-50s, which we can live with. Well, coming up after the break, if Randolph County wants to be a wet county and decide that in this election year, this weekend is the last chance, one group's organizers are saying. We'll tell you what we're talking about. We've got a special interview coming up with a Keep Revenue in Randolph County head, or at least the head of that group, which is not going to be called that, coming up pretty soon if it continues the effort. Details next on NEA Report. Stick around.
Are you or one of your loved ones in a nursing home? Spending $4,000, $5,000, or $6,000 per month for specialized care? You may be able to preserve most of your remaining net worth if you act now. Seniors who are wartime veterans may be eligible for immediate benefit. Protect yourself from all of these uncertainties. Call today for a free consultation. You have questions? The Oldham Law Firm has answers.
Brothers Flooring on Highway 67 South in Pocahontas has all your flooring covered. Stop by our showroom Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and see all we have. Carpet with pad and install starting at $16.50 a square yard. Laminate with pad installed starting at just $3.25 a square foot. Every name brand of engineered and solid hardwood from $5 a square foot and up. Waterproof vinyl planks, wood look and tile look, attached cork pack starting at $3.49 a square foot installed. Ceramic and porcelain tile of all sizes and all colors. We build custom tiled showers from the floor op shelves and benches, tub surrounds, kitchen backsplashes like no other. Brothers Flooring, Highway 67 North in Pocahontas. Call today, 870-892-2525.
We had a website that we had had for a number of years. It had become unwieldy to navigate. Ace One said, give me a little time and I'll come up with something and just see what you think about it. It blew us away. Ace One and his staff have given such close personal attention and outstanding customer service, just as if we were a $1 million company. I just can't say enough good things about them.
Well, in Randolph County, the last election season, one of the big topics was the discussion about giving the residents there the opportunity to vote, just giving them the opportunity to vote on whether the county should be wet or dry. The measure, even though it garnered over 4,000 signatures, did not quite get on the ballots. There was a significant legal challenge for various reasons, but this weekend, there's going to be a meeting, and it's going to be involved with the organizers from that group that are seeking to form a new group that could be possibly working to give residents in Randolph County a voice on the matter and the opportunity to vote. This weekend, the meeting is set for on Sunday, 2 p.m. The start time at the Rendezvous Event Center next to Bella Piazza, downtown. And this meeting is going to really determine quite a bit. In fact, it may be the determining factor that decides if the group can go forward and make an effort, or if this year it's not in the cards. And with us now on the phone is Linda Boland, who's been involved in the previous efforts before, and will be at the meeting on Sunday, helping to kind of oversee things. Thanks for taking a moment to join us, ma'am.
Oh, you're welcome, Stan.
So this weekend, as we had mentioned and talked about it, it's going to really determine if this weekend or if the effort moves forward this year, and if you'll have enough people involved. Is that right?
That's correct, Stan. It's an informational meeting for people who are interested in participating in the petition process and getting the issue on the ballot in 2018. Now, we know that there's a lot of interest in terms of signing the petition. We had over 4,100 signatures last time around, so we know we could get the signatures, but we've got to have the help. We've got to have enough people willing to participate in doing the process, because we're doing it on a grassroots level this time. It's going to be Randolph County people collecting the signatures, not an out-of-state canvassing company. And so this meeting will really help us determine whether or not we're going to have enough help and enough people interested in participating to proceed and try to get the thing on the ballot.
I just kind of want to be a little clear about that for those who are listening. Maybe you don't remember, but you had the signatures last time, at least initially, but it was legal challenges that sort of stopped it up, didn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, any dry county that's trying to go wet is going to have a strong, competent opposition from the liquor coalitions, the County Line Liquor Store Coalition and the General Liquor Store Coalition. So they've got plenty of money to fight anything in court. Well, unfortunately, last time, a canvassing company from Denver did our petition work. They collected almost 100% of the signatures. I think we collected about 200 ourselves just to be participating. And they did not follow the law on the procedures. And therefore, ultimately, when we got to court, liquor stores won because the company had made mistakes in the way they turned in the petitions. Well, we learned a lot from that, a whole lot. One was that we need to be in control of the process. And the other thing we learned was a whole lot of the pitfalls in the statute that caused the petitions to fail. And we don't intend to have the petition fail this time if we can get enough signatures and get it turned in. Which
is, of course, going to be determined by the turnout and interest that you have by the local community, and that's going to be decided this weekend. Also, just want to mention on it, just in case this does go forward, your plans are to move forward as you're talking about this, approaching it from a different angle. You had mentioned to me that that may include a name for the group that is different as well.
Yes, we're gonna retire the name of Keep Revenue in Randolph, and one of the reasons is we want to retire our account with the IRS and our account with other officials that we had to get tangled up in last time. We need to do that, and also we believe that the focus. We know it's going to bring revenue. We've seen studies on it. We know that that's going to be true. But our focus really is we want to have the opportunity to vote. So our committee wants to reflect that in its name, that we have the opportunity to vote instead of being denied the vote, like we felt like we were last time, although it was because of the company making mistakes. But we think that's the main issue is getting it on the ballot. That's the hardest part. That's the part that needs to be done absolutely perfectly without flaw. And once that's done, and we just believe that that's the main focus. We hadn't voted on this thing in Randolph County in 70 years, since the late 1940s. So it's a whole different population here. It's a different demographic here. The circumstances of the world have changed since we got an opportunity to vote on this last time, and we think 70 years is long enough, and we want to be able to vote. So that's what our committee name is going to reflect, I think. But we're having a contest right now on the Keep Revenue in Randolph Facebook page to get a name. So anybody who has an idea for a name for our group should go to that page. Now, having said that, like you said, we're not sure that we're going to be able to proceed, and this meeting on Sunday is going to help us determine that, because we need a lot of people interested in participating in the petition process. We know we've got interest in people signing it. We need people participating so that it can be a truly grassroots effort. So we're hoping everybody turns out. Even if you can't end up participating, you can get your questions answered, and you can find out whether or not this is something you'd even be interested in doing. So I think it'll be a real great meeting, an informative meeting, and we would want everybody to come.
That's this weekend, and we'll follow up with you next week to find out where the matters are at. That's Linda Boland on the phone from Pocahontas. Thank you so much, ma'am. Appreciate you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Stan. I appreciate you.
Well, let's talk about what's on the community calendar, shall we? And it's an event that was announced today in a big ceremony. The 2018 NEA Race for the Cure is scheduled for Saturday, April 28th on the campus of Arkansas State University right here in J-Town. It was a special event that announced it today and announced that the goal was to raise $300,000 this year through the various Race for the Cure events, and there are a number of them. It's operated under the direction of the Arkansas affiliate of Susan G. Komen, and the press release, full details can be found at neareport.com. Well, an event's going on tonight at Upper Crust on Shelby Drive we want to tell you about because it's something good for the community. It helps out our friends at the Fraternal Order of the Police, and it also helps out somebody in particular who could use the community to have his back after he's had ours. First up, though, it's the FOP night at the Upper Crust Pizza location on Shelby Drive. They're taking $15 donations for 2018 FOP calendars, which I've got to get a couple of. But I also want to get a couple of the FOP supporter decals for Investigator Landreth. I want to tell you real quick about his story, but I have got to get back to this one in the future and sit down and do a feature story on this, maybe a key for some of the other reporters that are out there listening. Investigator Josh Landreth suffered a massive heart attack during a foot pursuit of a felony wanted subject last year, but Workman's Comp denied the claim, saying it was a pre-existing condition, not work-related. And he has over $40,000 in medical bills. The hope is that the community can come together for him and help out, and the first opportunity to do that's tonight at Shelby Drive's Upper Crust Pizza. Stop in and buy a couple of supporter decals for the investigator to help him out, $5 per each, and of course those calendars are also available. Another event that's going to be taking place, the NEA Political Animals event, will be this Friday at noon at the Jonesboro Chamber of Commerce. State Republican and Democratic Party chairs will both be in attendance. And one of the questions, it's funny because one of the things listed on the email that was sent out was maybe we can ask them who's responsible for the government shutdown. Maybe we can. We'll try to find out more because NEA Report will also be in attendance. Looking forward to it. We'll stream it live too. Ladies, here's an event that's coming up. It's the Blues and Bingo event. It's Saturday, January 27th, and it's at the Cooper Alumni Center on A-State's campus. All proceeds will benefit A-State Rugby. That's a program that, it's seen a lot of growth in the past several years. Tickets are $45 each and include bingo cards, brunch, and the bubbly. So that's happening on Saturday to get involved with that. I think they've got a Facebook event for it if you'd like to look and find out more. Well, before we close up shop today, let's give you one final look at that new wave wireless forecast, and this is what it looks like for us tonight. Down to 36 for the overnight low tonight, but clear skies tonight. Mostly sunny for your Friday and a high near 54. Showers start to roll in after midnight on Friday night, and down to 47 for the low. Not too bad for a low, really, with cloudy skies. Maybe up to 1/4 inch of rain Friday night. In the early Saturday morning. Mainly before noon on Saturday, we're going to see some more showers too, with high near 55 and up to 1/2 inch of rainfall possible. That's on your Saturday as temperatures continue to stay warm into next week, which is certainly good news. Welcome news around here. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight on NEA Report. Please like and share this video to help us out. It does it a great deal, and we appreciate everybody who tunes in every night to watch us and to help spread the word about, what we're trying to do around here, our positive impact we're looking to make in our community. Thank you so very much for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. And don't forget, at all of those live streams we got tomorrow, 11 at Nollins. Come see us downtown in Nollins, okay? And then we'll all watch the Political Animals live stream together. Have a great, great night, everybody.